Welcome to the Phlarp Podcast. Phlarp stands for Park Hills Live Action Role Players. We are a medieval fantasy-themed LARP group. We engage in unscripted combat against each other using padded LARP weapons and a shared combat system. We also participate in ad-lib dialogue with each other in an attempt to portray a character, and many of us also wear costumes. We operate out of Park Hills, Missouri, every Sunday from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. We strive to create an environment that facilitates our players' immersion as much as possible so that regardless of their previous experience with LARP, they could participate and have a fun and memorable LARP experience. We want to help people create friendships, relationships, and memories that will last a lifetime. It is our hope here at the Phlarp Podcast that through the utilization of this platform, we can expand on the ideas and suggestions taken from our players so that we can maximize player retention and expand our player base. The Phlarp Podcast is made possible by support from our players and listeners like you. If you would like to support us, please visit our Patreon, where you can do so for as little as $3 a month. Also, any engagement on our YouTube or Facebook pages is much appreciated, and thank you for listening. All right, and we're live, and hopefully we're not sound like crap. Somebody else talk, and then we'll find out.
We will find out immediately.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm North, one of your hosts.
And I'm Brandon Fraser, or Davine Alwyn.
And I am Chris, or Eric the Red, which is a god.
And our special guest today is?
Cyrene Tigress.
We have a few questions usually we ask new co-hosts. One is, how long have you Phlarped? And the other one is, why do you Phlarp?
As far as Phlarp goes, I have been here since June. So that'd be about 6.5, 7 months now. Phlarping or LARPing in general, it's going on about 2.5 years. And always had a love for RP, D&D similar type things. Definitely the in-person fighting styles. And best way to do it is do it with friends.
Mm-hmm.
There you
Truth.
go.
I like that.
That's what's
Indeed.
up. That's what's up.
Well, I have a follow-up question.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you have those sometimes, don't you?
Yeah. Sometimes, occasionally. Okay. So this one is, what do you like on your pizza? Like, what kind of pizza toppings do you like?
Oh, that's a good one. Here lately, I would have to say my favorite has been chicken, green pepper with the garlic sauce, tomatoes, occasionally pineapple. Depends.
Okay. But we would agree that those are like all toppings. Let's say I ordered a pizza and I just got cheese. Do you consider cheese a topping? Or is that like
Like when they ask you,
what
do you want on
already
it?
should be on the pizza?
When they ask you what you want on it, you say cheese in addition to like whatever else they
I don't
put
have
on
to
it?
say cheese because it already goes on it. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's like I order a pizza.
Do you do cheese or do you do like extra cheese?
No, just cheese.
Basic cheese?
Yeah. It's like I want a cheese pizza. Do you feel like that's a topping?
That's a breakfast.
Okay. Fair enough. I just feel like when I call the pizza place and I say I want a sausage pizza or a pepperoni pizza, like it's assumed that there's cheese on that pizza.
Yes.
So like I just feel like calling and asking for a cheese pizza, you're basically not getting a topping.
Technically
It's like asking for a grilled
Technically
cheese.
not,
and then
but
being
I mean,
like,
by company standards, I mean, you're still getting a topping. Because that's my day job.
Well, I said what I said.
Is there a topping you don't like on pizza?
Oh, she
you-
likes pineapple. We
that you do
established
not
that.
like.
So
I do occasionally.
Is there a topping you don't like that other people do? Because you could say anything.
you're talking about to me?
Anybody, I don't know. But Siren first.
I mean, personally, I'm not a huge fan of olives, but I mean, if you do like a proper supreme or something where it's mixed in, it's not so bad.
I would agree with that, actually. I can't stand olives by themselves, but I can
Yeah.
eat a supreme pizza if they're on a pizza.
Yeah. I've tried anchovies once. I'm not going to say it's my favorite, but got to try it at least once.
There's some breakfast over
I don't
there
even
you
know
want.
if I've ever tried anchovies, to be honest.
They're just
You
kind
guys
of
ever tried
kind
them?
of salty.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a little bit of a
Is it
salty fish taste.
sardine? Is that the same thing?
No, it's
or-
different.
Oh.
Sardines are kind of salty too.
Yeah.
They smell though. They're stinky.
It's crazy how you eat the bones and all on a sardine,
Yeah.
too. It's
Yeah,
wild.
just eat the
I
whole
eat them,
thing.
though.
Especially in like mustard sauce. They're okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Who do you think is your favorite opponent to battle with?
Oh, that's a good one. The last couple of weeks, I would say Pious has been a good challenge.
Okay. Cool.
There you go. Shout out to Pius.
There we go. Pious. What else do we have?
Well, we could talk about the play of the day. I actually have one.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I did give role play experience for this today because I appreciated it. We got to a point in Scramble where there were no more spawns. There was no more resurrections.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like nobody wanted to fight anybody. So at some point, Sir Ednick basically was calling out everybody. He was by himself against groups of 3, trying to attack groups of 3, and nobody was fighting. Like, it was kind of crazy, but he was like role playing it, and I thought it was really cool. So my play of the day basically is his role play during that scramble.
Okay. That's good. I know that here lately, Sir Ednick has been definitely stepping his game up with his RP. I know that there for a while, like, he is the self-proclaimed king.
Yes.
Yeah, he does claim to be the king. That is a situation we have. So.
But he will always bow before God.
What was you said about anything anybody ever says after the word but?
It's all bullshit.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
So we had 2 new players today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got them off of TikTok, I heard.
TikTok. Our social
Earlier,
media is blowing up.
Earlier I said, it was to Rand, I was talking to him and I said, yeah, they came from the TikTok. And I was like, okay, that sounded terrible. I was like, let me rephrase that. They watched a TikTok and then they came here from that. But I just felt like a real boomer.
I've always heard good things, though, about TikTok when it comes to all kinds of things. Getting your name out there, TikTok is the way to do it. People watch TikTok.
Yes, they do.
Combined, we have
Yes.
more views than we even have on that one video that has like 1,800 views or whatever. But I think it's like 700. The one we have the most on is like 700. So, and I do the duels a little bit different on TikTok. So, if you haven't checked out our TikTok, check it out.
It's mophlarp.
Oh yeah, it's
mophlarp.
mophlarp. It should be in the description too down below. So.
And what's funny is I had actually, like, when I got there, before I actually started getting my equipment on, I noticed they were new and started talking to them, and they're like, "You're the god, huh?" I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Oh, we did our information, our research on you," and I'm like, "Is that good?"
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
So,
All I can say is that it's somewhat polarizing. I think some people are kind of into it. They can get behind it, whatever. And some people are like, okay, well, he thinks he's a god, so now this is like a personal challenge to deal with said god. So keep that in mind.
yes,
Yeah.
I was giving a messenger that apparently some archer or demon or something is going to try and kill me.
Oh,
Yes.
Or something.
Yeah.
that's scary. So you have basically like a hit on your head, essentially.
Yes.
I've heard rumors of that too.
How do you kill a god? Like, for that person, if they were listening to the podcast, like, is there...
Okay, I may have gotten a concussion, but I'm not dumb.
I'm
I'm not going to tell you.
I just want to know if somebody wanted to know the answer to that question.
Not him, just somebody.
I'm asking for a friend.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's only one person that knows how to kill me,
Yeah.
and that's my brother,
Okay.
Loki.
Gotcha.
So if you would like
Got
information,
connections.
you must go to Loki.
Nice.
Heston Iverson doesn't like Loki. He makes that known all the time.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, so that's your brother. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be a vendetta there as well. I don't know.
Maybe Heston will be on my side.
Maybe. Heston Iverson, if you're listening, maybe comment if you're on the God side or not.
He is.
Self-proclaimed God. Self-proclaimed.
Good catch. Good save.
He's like, I got.
So recap. Right?
Yeah. Did you finish what you were saying though? What'd he do? Just get everybody riled up? I missed what you were
You're
actually
talking
saying.
about with Sir Ednick?
Sir Ednick, yeah. Did he
Yes.
die or what?
Well, he ended up dying because he was.
But he got
by
them all to
himself.
fight.
Yeah, I mean nobody was fighting. Like, it's just one of those situations, especially in a game like Scramble, where I've made it very clear no one wins this game.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't you fighting?
Yeah.
The whole point of us being there is to fight.
Yeah.
And now you're just standing there, everybody kind of like squared off. No one wants to make the first move, which is essentially what he was saying. Like, guys fight. You know, he's like trying to fight groups of 3. No one's fighting. So I appreciated that because, like, I'm just standing there, just waiting for this game to end, and he's over there like, well, I'll fight.
He lit the match or whatever on it.
Yeah, he got her going.
Cool.
So
Yeah,
I gave him
sometimes.
some role play experience for that, just because
Cool.
I felt like it was necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the 2 people, and then I guess a recap. We're going to do a recap.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another person that's been really doing great RP is Wilhelm.
Yeah.
I gotta say that, you know, like I one time I was concerned for him, so I walked over. I was like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yes, I am going to RP my death every time." I'm like, "Okay."
He does, for the most part. I mean, I always see him role-playing death. So.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, we're good. So shout out to Wilhelm.
And before we move on too far from those 2 new people, thank you for coming out. And I know it's like a long ways. I hope you had fun, and maybe we'll see you next week. I just want to say that before we went too far.
I love it when we have new people and, like, we get to share something that we all love with people that I hope are also getting the same experience that I'm getting out of it. So, like, if they had anywhere near close to the level of, like, enjoyment that I get out of Phlarp, I feel like it was a good day for them.
I think they did say they'd try to be back next week if
Yeah,
they could.
I heard the same thing.
Yeah, when
Hopefully
I
they
talked to
are.
them, they said that, like, even on the field in between events, they were like, I was like, "Are you guys, you know, how's your day? You know, how are you feeling?" And they were like, "Oh, we are so loving this." I was like, "Okay," you know, and I asked them, I was like, you know, what besides TikTok, and they were like, "We're gamers, we love D&D, and you know, we were trying to find something, and we came across you guys on TikTok, and they were like, sold, done." I was like, "Okay, cool." So,
And I will say they did drive a decent amount to get here, but they did tell me they were an hour and 15 minutes away, which, to be fair, is only like 15 minutes past me. So, obviously in a different direction. I've never heard of, I think they said Morrisville is where they're from.
Down towards Jackson, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So the opposite direction of me, but
yeah, they're
I'm
down
glad
south.
that they made it, and I'm glad to see other people are willing to travel distances to get here as well.
Exactly. I appreciate them coming out.
You could tell that
and
they
we
loved
do
it.
get we
Yeah.
get new people all the time. It's not like we never get new people,
Yeah.
but it is like every time we do, I get excitement from it because I want to see our numbers grow back to what they were before.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he had a smile. Well, they both did. Had a smile on their face the whole time.
Yeah.
basically.
They even wore the crowns, which not a lot of people do,
Yeah.
which is cool because like that's what they're meant for. Is so like you don't go out there as a new player and people are like, "Do this to you," and you're like, "What? What does that do?" Like,
Yeah.
you know, you don't have to guess. You know.
Yep.
It's actually behooves you to wear it, but a lot
Yeah.
of people don't. Yeah.
They were rocking those crowns too, man.
One of them said, I don't remember if it was the guy or the girl said, "Oh, I'm gonna wear it with pride." Whenever we were saying,
Yeah. Cool.
you don't have to wear it or whatever. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna wear it."
I actually,
cool.
and I'll say this as a person who really prides themselves on knowing the rules. There was an ability used today that I had never seen used before. I didn't know what it did. Someone was like, "Is that how that works?" And I go, "Don't know. I'll have to look it up." I've literally never seen it used. And that was Heston's new shocking ability.
Static shock.
I had never seen it used ever. And they were like, "Is that how it's used?" And I'm like, I mean, I can go look it up. But Argus was right there. And Argus said, "Yeah, we were reading this ability. That's how it works." So, but anyway, so,
Awesome.
but I just want to point out that like even somebody who has read the rule book, I don't know, 6 times, like I still need to refamiliarize all the time. So
Yeah, no.
even
I
if
mean,
you've read the book before, read it again because I'm sure there's something you missed.
of course.
And it's another reason to wear your crown if you can still,
True.
because you might be hit with something you don't even understand. So
Right.
And what's crazy is like we have a lot of people now. They're pushing to get that Squire test done. So that's a major plus. You know, they're invested in Phlarp. They're trying to get the Squire test. Those are the ones that you know want to be here and they want, you know, to push as hard and as much as they can. So to those people, hats off to you.
And also, I guess a special shout out to Rand's clan too, because he this week and I think maybe last week, I'll have to look again and make sure they were all here. I think they were at one point though. That his clan got the golden whatever, he's gonna get extra bonus XP because all the people in his clan now have gold. So
Good for him.
So that's cool.
Awesome.
It's the first clan to do that. That's why it was kind of neat.
Yep.
It's like a bonus. You get bonus, for those who don't know, you get bonus XP basically if you and everybody in your clan has gold and they also show up. And he did this weekend. I think he did last weekend. So
Maybe that's something the lady Siren can do.
and you all
So
get
I
a
just want to
bonus
say
shot.
earlier,
Working on
I also used the pronunciation siren, but she pronounced it siren earlier. So am I saying it wrong?
It is Siren.
So it's siren.
Yes.
Siren tigress.
Siren Tigress.
Okay. Because I'm trying to learn all the names, like, and sometimes I fail, especially people that don't show up a lot.
I want to say probably half the time it's usually everybody names it Siren or something similar like that. But yeah, it's just straight Siren.
All right.
Siren like wee wee. Sorry.
Maybe
had to.
spelled different. Maybe
Yeah,
spelled
it's definitely spelled different.
So recap.
Yeah, recap.
We did a lot today, I feel like.
We got a patrol in the beginning first, I think.
Yeah, that I thought went well.
Yeah, I thought it went really well too. I mean, I didn't have any problems that I knew of from it.
Do you feel like it went too long or too short or anything like that? Okay.
No.
Good.
I wish they'd stop trying to take me off and take me hostage for no reason.
I don't like it.
I don't know
like
why
it.
they do that.
I even told him not to do it before we started. So
I think that's just one character's vendetta and personal.
And the first time he tried to do it, I said, don't steal me. I got to go through a death cycle because I had to show the new people how to.
Yeah.
We had to wait till they die and then kind of go back to the rest point with them so they understand how it works. And he was trying to take me off as a corpse. I'm like, leave me alone.
And it's always the one person that steals
Yeah,
you.
it's
Too.
the same guy. Yeah. And then he tries to carry me, and he carries me a little less each time. He's like, all right,
Just
I'm
keep
done.
packing on that weight. He won't be able to
Right.
carry you at all anymore.
I'm trying.
Oh.
Anyway, so we
I
did-
missed patrol. I apologize. I had a family function.
It happens, man. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
no worries.
Yeah, I think we were coming up right at the very
At the end of the
probably
day,
about
real
middle of
life
it.
first, and I think everybody understands that. You know.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But I had a donut. It's a sugar cookie in the shape of a donut, and that thing was amazing.
Was
I
it?
mean,
It was amazing, and one of the EMTs or paramedics that Jesse works with was the one that made them. I was like, man, we're gonna have to talk. So
well, I'm glad you had a good cookie.
it was a good
Yeah.
cookie, and now you're trying to fatten me up with pizza. I'm supposed to be losing
That's
weight.
not
bro.
pizza. It's just cheese and bread.
That's a
Okay, with cheese, bread, and sauce.
That's not pizza.
that's a topless
Yeah, it's,
pizza.
it's a topless pizza. Yeah,
That's your
exactly.
bare bones pizza.
I can't even call it that. Cheese comes on it anyway.
Yep.
You know,
Would you like a piece of cheese pizza?
it's breakfast.
Oh, sorry, it's
I mean, you can eat
it's
breakfast
from
for dinner.
Domino's.
You can eat breakfast for dinner, but like you need to acknowledge it's not real pizza.
Wait, hold on, because this is on video. Sorry, you can't have any. It's from Domino's.
I know. Is that
Oh.
a competition?
Oh, is that a
who
competitor?
are you
Yeah.
working for?
Pizza Hut.
Yeah, I mean Pizza Hut's superior. Let's be honest.
I'm just saying, you know.
Though I cannot eat a Pizza Hut pizza unless it's stuffed crust. I refuse.
Oh, word.
Oh, their stuffed crust is awesome.
Yeah.
The problem I hate is they don't put enough cheese in the stuffed crust. That's why I make my own.
See, I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is that you're getting the same amount of dough no matter what. So, like, the rest of the pizza is, like, paper thin.
Yeah.
But it's worth
Now,
it.
granted, that depends on who's stretching it.
Well,
If you stretch it proper, you still get enough dough.
either way, that's been my experience. It's like a layer of bread, and then, of course, because it's me, a layer of pepperoni basically on top. But,
One of the most popular.
yeah, pepperoni stuffed crust.
Okay, what was after patrol?
Last man standing,
Yeah,
I think.
it definitely was.
Yes, it was.
Who
And
won?
then, oh, go ahead. Okay,
Do
sorry.
we know who won?
Nope.
Yeah, Heston Iverson won.
Heston
Oh, again?
Iverson?
Okay, Isaac told me the other day he's been winning, like placing and winning a lot.
Oh yeah, he does
Last
well.
Man
But
Standing.
listen. This is I want to talk about this on the podcast because this is actually it infuriates me as
Okay.
a person that wishes they were out there to deal with this.
Mm.
Okay, but
Here's what you
As a
would do.
marshal-
He's talking
yeah.
about-
So he gets out there, and any time it gets down to like a few people, he convinces everyone else to fight each other every time, and they do it. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'll stay out of your fight, but basically you guys need to fight, and then whoever wins can fight me." And so anytime he's fighting,
I saw him do it the one time.
he does it every time, and
Every
they
time.
do it.
And there's two reasons for that, though.
No, it's genius because because then by the time the two other fight each other, he's fighting somebody that's down an arm and down a leg. It's dude. I don't know how they keep doing it, but I just want to say to Heston, if you're listening to this, genius.
And for all the people that are listening that are going against Heston, I guess he just blew up his plan right there.
I mean, I would have blown it up a long time ago as a player. I'm just saying.
Pointed that out.
So for our
So as long as
Guest
it keeps
host.
working for you, good job.
okay, remember that.
Always.
Remember that.
Yeah. Don't be manipulated by a silver tongue, okay?
I mean, wizards, they're amazing, but come on now.
He's going to talk about the gods. He's going to talk about all kinds of stuff. He might put a curse on you if you attack him. Don't listen to him.
No, see, we can have conversations, and I enjoy conversation, especially in the process of the conversation to winning and beating up some wizard butts.
I mean, fair enough.
Oh, we're past 30 seconds, so we should be able to drop the A-bomb.
Are you itching to do that?
Yeah, were you wanting to do that? Like, where did that come from?
Because she wanted to say it, and she's like,
Oh,
wizard butt.
we didn't have to censor
Trying to be
ourselves.
nice.
I understand.
She's trying to censor herself, but we're past 30 seconds.
Gotcha.
We're good.
The A word is ass. Is that what you're
Yeah, we're talking about donkeys.
demonetized?
Okay, so
And I
after...
guess whoever got second and third don't matter.
Nah.
Because they.
I mean, that's
'Cause
a
they
little
were
brutal. You're
manipulated.
talking about during Last Man Standing?
yeah. I was joking.
I'm trying to remember if I can. I believe second place was Sir Ednick, and third place was Argus Greenwood
Oh, cool.
in that particular match.
Okay.
All right. And then I guess we played a scramble. Was the next one?
Yep.
Yep.
There was no winner of that game,
Right.
of course. But it's a fun game, especially when you have new players, because there's infinite lives. They get a good idea of how the battle works. And we played for a good while. I think I stopped that one after, like, I don't know, we'll say 35 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
But
And the magical items were kind of cool too, in that the newer people, if they didn't want to mess with them, they kind of didn't have to. But for the people that have played it before, they kind of have a thing to go for, you know. Kind of talked about that before, about it being like a MacGuffin sort of. Or somebody else said that. They said, "Where's the MacGuffins?" It was Wilhelm. He's like,
was
"Where's
Wilhelm.
the MacGuffins?" Yeah. It's like that's funny because that's what they are, kind of.
yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
a reason.
like little perks.
Yeah, I got there.
I added a
right
magical
about that
item
time.
actually, but I don't know if I should
No, I don't,
divulge.
I don't know that
its
you should.
power.
Well, you could if you wanted to. I mean, there's no problem with that. It was in the game.
And they wouldn't know. They
There
wouldn't
goes the
know
rules.
who has it or whatever. Yep, the rules are out. So there's a magical item that I'll just hold on to that one. I'll let people figure that one out for
All right,
themselves.
that's fair enough.
All right,
So we did have a few. The one was like an automatic kill or a one-hit kill.
one hit kill, and then there was one that
insta kill is what we were calling it. So if you hit an arm or a leg, you could just say insta kill. That person's dead. Pretty
and then,
cool.
And then the regular GoPro, the oldest GoPro we have, was the Juggernaut magical item, so it
Yep.
made you immune to limb damage.
And then you got the Siphon Life one as well, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one was the Siphon Life, right? Besides the secret one that I didn't tell everybody about.
Right. And the Siphon Life is I mean, simple enough. If I'm missing an arm and I hit somebody's arm, I get my arm back. That's how
Any
that
limb.
works. Is it
If you hit
any
a limb, you get a
Okay.
limb back. If you
Even
get a
better.
kill, you get a full heal.
So
Awesome. Awesome.
And then we played a wild game of Capture the Flag.
yeah.
Capture the flag.
We'll call it mixed reviews. I knew that there would be some stuff we had to work out. We haven't played that game in a long time. I will say,
We never played it with the locks.
without
before.
many abilities being used, it went okay. I think you got to change. You got to change some things.
Okay.
So here's what my suggestion for that would be, and I'm sure there's going to be more suggestions in the
I was
suggestion
thinking
box.
that too. Yeah.
But my suggestion would be that you set a timer for the entirety of the event. So we'll call it an hour. That says we're going to play this game for an hour, and if nobody's scored any flag points, everybody just gets participation experience. If we're playing for an hour and we're in the middle of round 2 and the timer goes off and one team has a point and the other doesn't, that team wins. Because it went for an obnoxious amount of time today. I do think there's things you can do to mitigate it a little. I thought about potentially one lock on the flag
sure.
instead of 2.
Sure.
That might help a little. And people just like a different strategy obviously could help as well. But, I think overall it went okay. I think that second round just went a little bit too long for everybody. So I would set some kind of timer for the event. That would
And
be
it's
my
like
suggestion.
whichever best 2 out of 3, or if the timer goes off first, it's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
I agree.
Just to keep
And
it
even
from
an
going.
hour's long. I mean, that's a long time for one event, but it takes some setup and, whatever. So I think an hour is doable.
What were you gonna say?
I think that's good too. I was going to say, if nothing else, the Four Corners version of that game, I think,
Bannerman.
worked a little better.
The
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Dominion.
Bannerman.
Bannerman.
Yeah.
Was it Bannerman
Yeah.
or Dominion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, last time we did that one ran a little bit smoother.
Yeah. I definitely seen at least one. I can't think of the word, but ability. One ability. There we
Oh,
go.
okay. I saw some too. My whole point to that is just we've talked about this before, and I will say, like, when the abilities get really good, it might complicate it a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah.
But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I just,
Yeah.
some of those AoE abilities are going to be kind of crazy for that game.
Yeah. Like I seen Trinity use taunt.
Yeah, I saw
Like,
him too.
he called
was
out-
asking me if he could get a taunt per life. I was like, no, Trinity, you can't have a taunt per life. Like maybe per round. I'll have to talk to North.
Yeah.
What I said was, they were asking me that if your abilities reset between rounds, and at first I said no, because that's the way we've always done it.
Right.
And then I thought, well, if both team captains agreed to that, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
But if one team captain says no, then no.
That's fair.
Yeah. I agree.
So there you go, Trinity.
Yeah, because I know Wilhelm used his heal on the first round, and then after they rediscussed the reset timing and everything, they're like, well, next time maybe we should wait till late game before using it if it's once per game period.
Right.
Right.
I will say there was multiple occasions where I lost a limb and was like, damn, I wish the healer was on my team.
Yeah, so I'm healing somebody at one point, and I was jealous.
Yeah. I had a
Oh,
leg gone
man.
at some point, and I was thinking, man, I wish Wilhelm was over here. We're really slow right now.
Yeah, that first game, the one team
They got
kind
it
of
pretty quick,
dominated.
yeah.
Yeah, but that second one, boy, that lasted the rest of the time, basically. So it was fun, though.
A lot of it's just like reevaluating your strategy and stuff like that. But I think we did a good job in that game.
And
And
I
I guess we'll find out, like you said, when we go look in the suggestion box, too.
Yeah.
I honestly, even though it lasted a really long time, I think it did go smooth. There was no complaints about, the setup or anything like that. It went smooth, but again, I think a lot of the players were just frustrated because it was like a long battle.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is it was truly balanced in my opinion as far as the teams are concerned, and that's one of the reasons is that there was true balance there. I mean,
Yeah.
not one team really could get an advantage over the other in that second round, but I still think it went well. Like you said, I think it just went a little too long. People started to get a little aggravated, upset, whatever.
Yeah.
So, I did see some people not taking some hits today.
Yeah.
Let's hope there's not suggestions in the suggestion box about it. I definitely didn't put any in there, but I mean, you got to start taking your hits, guys. If you're listening to this podcast and you feel like there's any chance that you were hit and you're not sure, just take the hit.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like,
Now,
just
The
take
thing is, if you just take it to, if when they're like, I've been fighting people and doing that and do what you said, like where I'm like, well, I don't really know, maybe they got me, and then I'll just be like, yeah, I think you did get me. And I've had plenty of times where they'll not acknowledge that I got them until I acknowledge that they got me, and they'll
Yeah.
say, oh yeah, well, you might have got my leg too. But then it makes it every time I get into an interaction with them, they're like, well, he's cool, he'll call everything, so then they're more likely to call stuff.
Yeah.
Take the hits.
I did that literally today, where I was probably 85 to 90% sure that I had blocked something with my shield, and it's like wrapped around and hit me. And I went ahead and asked the player, I was like, hey, do you feel like you hit me somewhere? And they was like, yeah, I hit your arm. I dropped my shield. I didn't argue about it. Like, it is what it is. I'm going to go res. It doesn't matter.
Right.
No.
And I mean, we're all out there to have fun.
Yeah.
So, like today, I seen Squishy. Squishy was going against Anvil. And Anvil, Squishy asked him, hey, where did you get me? She was the one asking him.
Good.
Because he did get her, but she was like, where did you get me? I
Sure.
know you got me, but where did you get me?
Yeah, that's fair.
And so, that shows, how much our players are like, okay, look, we want to find out, we want to go through this, we want to see what's going on. So I totally appreciate all of our players doing that. So, but I did want to ask Siren, how, like, what do you think of the game, Flagman? Like, what do you think of it?
I think
Capture
it's
the
a-
flag? The one
Yeah,
with flag-
sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Capture
I was
the
just making
Flag.
sure it wasn't getting conflated with Bannerman because they are two separate.
I smushed
Right.
them together.
No, I'd like Capture the Flag. kind of like we were saying, I think there's a few tweaks or a few adjustments that will kind of smooth it out overall, whether it be a timer or, and it could be a whole game timer. It could just be per round timer. Depends on how would work better. And then I guess just making sure that there is a balance on the teams. If everything is running, but
That's
seems
possible.
like there's
Yeah.
an imbalance at some point, just maybe switch some things around and then go
Okay.
again and see if that kind of
That sounds good.
gets things in a better rolling position.
Okay.
That's cool. We've had a lot of, I don't know, I want to say animosity, but that game has caused problems before in the past. So
Yeah.
it's cool that it seemed to go pretty well today, other than the few
It
hiccups.
did last a little bit long.
Yeah.
No.
And the one thing, well, I'll wait till I read this suggestion to really get into it, but there's a suggestion in here that basically says that the magistrates or the marshals that are on the field need to watch for uncalled hits by players. I just kind of started talking about that a minute ago. Though I don't necessarily want players creating conflict when it comes to taking hits as a marshal, unless like it's really blatant or a problem player or whatever, I'm not going to get involved unless you give me a reason to get involved. If it's that important to you and I see you guys discussing it, we'll call it, I'll come over and we'll talk it and we'll figure something out. It may not be perfect. I may not have seen it, but I will have some kind of solution for you. I had that today. I said, I don't know who stabbed who first. You guys can either Simo or you can reset and refight. I don't care. But because it was close.
Right.
But my whole point is yeah, I mean, I see uncalled hits all the time, but unless like a player like really like wants me to get involved, I'm not going to do
It's
that.
hard to.
I don't want the players to hate the marshals for doing our job.
Yeah, because what they're
Yeah.
saying is you should just walk around and go, "Hey, you're hit. Hey, you're dead.
Yeah.
Hey, you got hit," and you can't do that.
No,
They're
no
gonna
one's
hate
going to
you.
like the marshals.
Yeah, they're gonna absolutely
No.
hate you.
So I'll do
And
my
they're
job
gonna,
when I
they're gonna end
have
up thinking
to do
you're
it.
being biased.
I
too.
know, I know. And so it's a problem. But I mean, we hear you.
And
But like, if it's that big of a deal to you, like, you need to be the one to initiate that.
And also, I don't know who wrote this, but I today walked up to a couple different people and said, "Hey, did you get him?" Because I thought that the attacker hit the person they were fighting, and the attacker said, "No, I did not get him. I got him like in the neck, or it was like a headshot or neck shot."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay."
I
And
saw one of those interactions
And I was
from
like,
you,
all right.
actually.
So I tried to like go over there. If he would have said, "Yeah, I think I did," I would have went and told that guy, "I'm pretty sure you're dead, bro." Like it looked like he killed you to me, but but the attacker didn't have a problem with it. So why should I? I'm not gonna go over and
Right.
Right. There was a situation today where if I would have had to have made the call, I would have made it different than how the two agreed.
Right.
One of them was a fight between Lucian and Aridin and Pora. I really thought Lucian stabbed him. And after like it was discussed what happened, he said, "No, I hit him in the neck." Which
Yeah, it was the same fight. It was the same one. you were
Yeah, I was
talking
like,
about.
okay, well, I would have miscalled that, so I'm glad that you guys figured that out and I didn't have to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, quite honestly, the way we're trying to do this is we're trying to do it where, excuse me, players are calling their shots.
Yeah, you're supposed
Like
to kind of let
the
your
recipient
opponents
is calling the shot. Like, yes, you
acknowledge
got
their
me.
hits.
So, it's we are out there 100% for safety, but secondary as a backup to like okay, if you guys can't resolve it, then we will step in.
Right.
It's kind of our job to reduce
Conflict.
altercations down to the minimum like interruption for the rest of the game as possible. So if two people are having problems, we're just going to go over there and basically try to figure that out real quick so that they can get back into the game and keep playing, even if it may not even be really all that fair, because had we seen everything that went down, we may have made a different call. But if we don't see it, we might go over there and be like, "You guys are both just dead," just so because it's easier to do that than try
I mean,
to.
it's not just that it's easier. It's that, I mean, we have to get the progress of the game going. Like,
Yeah.
we can't interrupt the flow of the game. So if
And of
you're
course,
making
that's
me come over
in
and
context.
taking
Yeah.
my eyes away from everyone else, like, I have to get this rolling. So I'm going to have some kind of solution, even if it's not perfect.
Right.
But and also, like, I don't want to discourage people from getting the marshals involved when they, if somebody's, you could come up to a marshal and say, "Hey, am I supposed to be calling my own hits?" And then if we say, "Yeah," like, "Yeah, why?" And then they're like, "Well, I just fought this guy, and I don't think he wasn't really letting me call my hits. He was just telling me, I'm hit, I'm dead, or whatever." And then they walk off. Well, we'll go address that without, like, that's a way to get us involved in a situation that you may not be able to do anything about at the time. Like, I don't expect you to just, like, stand in the middle of the field and be like, "I have a problem with what's going on," and wait till a marshal sees you. But, you have to understand the position we're in too. That like I said, we can't walk around and just be like, "You're dead, you're dead, you're hit, you're dead," because we wouldn't even be able to be unbiased. I didn't see that hit you were talking about. I would have called him dead, and I would have been wrong because
Yeah.
according to the attacker, he didn't think he hit him, or
Yeah.
he hit his neck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So, like, I saw it. Had
it's kind of balance
had
all
they
that,
made
you
me
know.
make that call, I would have said, "Yeah, he hit you,"
Yeah.
and clearly I would have been wrong. So it is what it is.
All right.
So we got to keep all that in mind, but we'll do our best. People have to work with us, and we'll have to work with them, and we'll do what we can to try to make sure people are taking their hits. But we
Right.
can't just go out there and start policing without no, like, reason to, come down on somebody. We don't know. We'd have to have some reason, basically.
And to be fair, and like, I understand, like, from the player perspective, if I'm out there as a player and I'm fighting someone and I'm fairly certain I killed them and they're not taking their hits, and I kind of create an issue where I get a marshal involved and they come over and the marshal says, "Hey, look, I didn't see it. Let's just say you're both dead." And I know as a player that I shouldn't have been dead. Like, that is frustrating, and I get that. But at the same time, I guess what we're asking you to do is realize that it's a game, realize that we're all just there to have a good time, and just kind of be like, "Man, that's whack, but it is what it is," and just go revive. And if it's not a revive game, like, don't let it ruin your day, because at the end of the day, we're just there to have fun.
Yep.
Yep.
I agree 100%.
And also, just to kind of address it a little bit more, if a marshal tells you something like that, if they do come up and they do tell you something like, "Oh, you're dead," just be dead. Don't sit there and argue with them about it.
Yeah.
Basically,
That happened today,
I saw
too.
that a little bit today. Yeah, and
Yep.
it's not doing anybody any good. I don't understand what the point would be.
To be
sit there
fair, that player, okay, it was my situation. That player did come up to me after the event and basically apologized for arguing with me.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
that
I
was
didn't see
cool.
that part, so-
Right.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that. More or less was just like, "Hey, I wasn't trying to argue with you. I was just trying to, like," and I'm like, "It's fine. Just, like, for future reference, if I say, 'No, hey, I saw it hit your back,' it hit your back.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't care.
He was just trying to say, like,
Yeah, I don't have a dog in the fight,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, like, if I say, 'Hey, this hit you,' it hits you, man. Like,
Yeah.
He was trying to say, but he was just trying to say, I didn't ignore the hit. I didn't feel it.
Right.
Was, and
but he
was
did
stressing
say,
that.
"I heard it make impact."
Oh.
That was my favorite part of the whole thing. I heard it hit. I just didn't feel it. And I'm like, "Okay, you're dead. Just die."
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is.
Yeah. And I do have one other thing. I kind of came off aggressive today. Whenever we had that caution, but that was strictly because, when we call a caution, we need everybody to stop in place. We need, one, it's
Talking
for
about
the
two
safety.
people got hurt kind of at the
Yes.
same time. Yeah.
And it was mainly because, it was such, there was two people hurt,
Yeah, it was
and
chaos.
it was in a small area next to the flag, but everybody else was trying to walk forward or go in res, and we're like, "No, we are in caution for a reason. You stop. You do not move until a marshal tells you, yes, go." And we had other players taking it upon themselves to, do
I
what they
didn't.
wanted, and I was like, "No." And I was aggressive, but I was trying to get the point across. So I may have came off aggressive, and that's my fault, 100%. But again, I wanted to make sure the safety of the players, and also to make sure everybody knew where they were, so that we could resume the game exactly
No,
as
that's
we
fair.
were.
No,
yeah,
that's
I
fair.
think you were probably fine because there were players that were still talking. Like, you may not have been aggressive enough because there were still people going off and doing things. Although I don't think it was necessarily all their fault either.
Right.
Because they were a little disoriented. Because one of the people that got hurt got up and started walking off and trying to res. And then other people were like, well, was he supposed to leave yet? We didn't really unpause.
Right.
So technically, next time, for future reference, if we're paused, yes, wait till we say unpause. It was kind of my bad that I didn't unpause it, but eventually you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, for future reference, when we've paused it, don't get up and still do anything until we actually call unpause. I think that was kind of like my fault on that, because I started walking off before I actually did the unpause call, which would have helped
And the
clarify.
most important thing here is that all the players that had gotten hurt today are fine. They're
Yeah,
okay.
they actually kept playing, every one of them.
I think Gregor might have a pretty nasty bruise in the morning.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that was self-inflicted.
It was
So,
sort of like a concussion. It was self-inflicted.
well, yeah, I mean, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But he slid pretty hard, and that shield came up and just caught him right in the eye. His own shield, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's
Or
definitely going to have...
fortunately,
Or fortunately, yeah. I'm glad it wasn't somebody else. He would have been
Right.
really aggravated.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, he's going to have a black eye in the morning. I told him to go into work and tell everybody that you should see the other guy. You know? So,
Definitely.
you know, and I know we kind of moved past
Take-
recap, but
take
we
a
also
picture of
did
it.
play a minion, which I
Oh, yeah, after
Oh,
the
yes, we
crazy
did.
capture
we
the
did play a
flag,
minion, which Pius won. So I do want to say that.
Yep.
just to put it out there.
Yeah, I think that was probably the last event we played.
It was.
So,
Yep.
but yeah,
And definitely want to give a shout out to all our players. You know, I asked them, hey, can everybody just help us briefly, help us out and take things up? And a lot of the players
Oh, yeah.
jumped in and they were like, okay, what
Yeah,
can
it
I
was
do? And
and which is great because how do I say this? In past weeks, North has said this. He has made this announcement, and people just get in their cars and leave. Like that's like everybody. Like there's been like no one offered help. There's been weeks where like I'll do it all, or Chris will do it all, or or sometimes we all work together. But like it seems
It'd
like
just be 3 or 4 people.
it's just
basically.
us basically, and it was nice to have help today.
it was.
When I looked over and they were all folding up the tarp and stuff to get and I was like, oh man, it's cool. Everybody's like working really hard. I don't mind to set it all up, but it is nice to have some help breaking it all back down, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
get here, I get ready for the podcast, and it's,
Well, you want to eat and you want time to do things. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. And folding that
thank you.
tarp by myself when it's windy, I'm like,
Yeah.
it kind of sucks.
I don't
but,
know all
He
of
just
who
goes
did it
flying by.
today.
He's like,
Were
"Little
you
help, guys."
involved? I know Terex was involved.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
they both were.
Terex handed it to me at some point, and I was trying to put the computer away, and I remember just taking that whole tarp and just putting it in Wilhelm's hands.
he
And I was
brought
like, I said, you want to do something? Take this to North.
Because
Because he had asked me previously if he could do anything, and I was like, man, I'm trying to put this suitcase thing together. I don't really need you, and just basically, I was like, I don't even really know what I'm doing here. Like, I know you don't,
Right.
and it's nothing offensive. I just I don't know where this stuff goes. I'm trying, but yeah, no, it was nice to have help today, big time.
It was. I want to thank all of our players that helped us today. So,
that's one.
Yeah, that is what it is,
what do you-
I got a suggestion that the hole in the suggestion box needs to be bigger.
Okay. They told me that in person while they were
Yeah,
putting that one
that's
in there.
the second time I've heard that. So,
where's your little
Noted.
Where's your little notebook, sir?
Yeah, I don't even have it down here. So.
I mean, you could literally do that with a screwdriver.
Well, maybe. What we do is we read these, but if it has somebody's name on it specifically, just don't read it.
Yeah, if it's like a suggestion for someone
You just hand it
sloughing
back to me.
heads or
I
something,
kind of looked
just
at them, though.
pass
I
that
don't
away.
think any of those were in there, but if there is, just don't read that one. But you can go ahead.
I have I love kicking rock. Ha ha ha.
Rocks. I guess that's
okay.
what that's supposed to be. That was the code word for the
the
last podcast.
That was not me.
Also, Rocks is the name of Rose's little animal companion, which
That's
is why
what we
that
were
was
talking
funny.
about. Yeah, I totally forgot the reason
So
why.
Rose literally, when she told me the code word, she asked me to come around to the other side of the tarp, which I was like, oh god. So anyway, but I walked around to the other side of the tarp, and she actually kicked her little pet Rocks because during the podcast last week, I said that I would jokingly, of course, I said I would give bonus XP to anyone who actually kicked Rocks, but
I did it twice.
Nice.
anyway,
So
that's
I
what that
I
was.
get 2 bonus
that
XP.
You
bonus
get
XP.
nothing.
Oh, okay. You get nothing.
You're gonna get a pie in the face.
Good, I like pie. What kind? That's not a pie. We've discussed this.
That's breakfast.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a breakfast in the face then. Which I do appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem. You got something over there?
This one is legible. It says, "Today was great. We need to get the bathroom unlocked."
The bathroom was unlocked.
All the
So-
way up until Ellie come and locked it.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yes, she did. But she asked everybody if anybody wanted to use the bathroom before she did.
What
Yeah.
time was that?
It was
That-
right
As
before
we were
Right at
as
the
we're-
end, towards the end of the
Okay.
day.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
around
good.
4.
Okay.
I think we were done with that. It was before Minion, but after
Yeah.
that
Okay.
capture the
well,
flag.
Minion didn't. It started to like 4:52. So
This one says, "First time LARPing, me and my wife had a blast and we'll be back." So I guess we know who that one.
yes, we hope you come
Nice.
back. We enjoyed having your
Yeah.
company.
I agree.
I'm down to 1, so you go.
I got one left.
I got 2.
Okay. Personally, love capture the flag as is, but maybe needs a rehydrate timer and dig the tunes.
Cool. Noted.
Awesome sauce.
Kind of already talked about that, so we get
Yeah,
it.
we could do a little bit more on letting people rehydrate between matches. I just don't know about, like, maybe we need to bring it around to them, because when everybody goes into the town, it creates a big break and everybody will like chill out for like 10 minutes.
No.
So, but maybe if we walked around and gave water bottles to people if they wanted them or something, like in between points, like after they make a point, say, "Does anybody need a water break?"
Yeah.
I'll bring you a water or whatever, you know.
We could certainly be better about that.
Sure.
I mean, if our town tavern wench was there, then they could be doing that, but they
No,
weren't there
granted,
today.
that's if they're not fighting.
Yeah. I have reconsider having hands count people aim at them, and the hard latex weapons break someone's fingers because some people swing too hard.
I mean, hands are going to count.
Yeah.
As far as like, if there's somebody that's got a weapon out there that's literally hurting people's hands, then that
That
weapon
would
needs
hurt
addressed.
them, and if it's going to break a finger, it would hurt someone no matter where they hit them. Really,
So, like-
you would think. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so if that's
No,
a
it'll sting
problem,
for sure.
then let us know whose weapon that is in the suggestion box next time, and we'll take a look at it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's already a couple weapons out there that are somewhat questionable, and if they're brought up as an issue, then perhaps we'll deal with it.
Sure. Yeah, there's a few weapons that we've said, if anybody complains about these at all, we'll go ahead and take them out. And a lot of them are latex weapons. So, I mean, if they're hurting you, then let us know. And you probably, I kind of look at it like, as far as the rule goes, I'm not sure what the point of trying to get your, hands not to count is, but I feel like, isn't that what you would do, in a real fight? I know we're not really, everything is, 1-to-1 on a real fight, but you're not just going to stick your hands out there and leave them unprotected anyway. Like, if you're in a real fight and you took a sword to the hand,
Yeah, I'm going to cut your finger off.
you're not going to hold on to your weapon, and why wouldn't you try to do that to me if
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
The only ones that don't count are the ones that have hand armor, so.
Right.
And there's only a few of those.
And if they have the hand connected to the sword, I mean, you could turn your sword if possible. Like, it's possible that you could turn your sword even and connect with their sword, and then it doesn't have to count because they grazed off your weapon. Like, it's just a clean hit that counts on your hands. I'm not sure what to do about that, because I don't really think that should be taken out, because otherwise that's making their hands invulnerable.
Yeah.
But as a medium ground for this person that put in the suggestion, that we're not exactly ignoring it. We're just saying if there's an issue with a particular weapon that's hurting fingers, let us
Sure.
know about that weapon, please.
Because and also, alternatively, even if we do take this out, are they saying, too, that abilities would not count if they hit your hands? Because I feel like that would have to
Yeah,
count,
I
right?
don't know.
You know?
It's a whole issue that we really shouldn't even delve into because we're not going to do it.
No.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
like,
talking
if
about
there's
it
an
too much.
issue with a weapon, please tell us.
Yeah, that would be more the solution to what it sounds like this problem is to just let us know if there's a weapon that's messing people's hands up. Oh, yeah, okay. And I have, let's see. These are questions, I think, specifically for the podcasters, so I'll leave that one. This one says, people under control, such as summons or minions, need to actually try and not purposefully ignore orders or get themselves killed.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah, if you're like being a dick if you do that, basically. If I knew someone was doing that, I would probably give disciplinary action to them, because, like, the whole game, I even do everything I can in making them more powerful sometimes. Like, I'll make a minion character more powerful so that you would almost have to suck to lose against them. Not the basic ones, the skeleton ones or whatever for, like, say, Death Knights, how they have the basic minion. And, well,
To be fair,
this is
I think
in
this
Minion.
is
They said
probab-
in
yeah,
Minion.
Yeah, this
so
is
they're talking about
Minion.
real people, too.
So what I'll do to
they're saying both things, kind of.
in order to mitigate this, I think this is probably more about Minion. But what I'll do for future reference, when we go to play Minion, I will make a point to say, hey, when you're someone's minion, you do exactly what they do or tell you to do exactly when they tell you to do it. That's the whole point of Minion.
Yeah.
So, like, if you lose to somebody, there should be some kind of quote-unquote consequence for that. And if it's, going and falling on somebody's sword because your master told you to, then you do that. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
And the reason you do it is because you would want that person to do that for you
Yeah.
if they were on your team. The only way anybody's ever won at Minion is because the people were doing what their masters said.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, it's Minion for a reason.
Yep.
I would look at this just like not taking hits. If you specifically put someone in there that's like totally not ignoring your orders and you're doing everything you can to try to get them to follow your orders, then I would follow that up with some sort of disciplinary action, even if it's just a verbal to them. Because, I mean,
Yeah, we got to do better about that.
yeah,
For sure.
we need to make sure that people are all doing that. So,
I got one here that just says, moderators are doing a great job. The editor is doing incredible. I appreciate the hard work you're doing. Thank you for that. And then it says,
agree.
Capture the Flag was great, but a bit lengthy, which again we've discussed. So,
perfect.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate everybody's input. And
Yeah.
we thank everybody. I mean, they could be do something else on a Sunday, and they're out there with us. So we appreciate them.
and we had good numbers again today. Just to clarify, it's the middle of January, and we had like 25 players today.
Yeah,
That's awesome. So,
that is amazing.
Yeah, that means in the summertime, it'd be double that.
and that's what I was actually telling.
Or in the
I
warm
can't
weather.
remember his. Is it Sarvok? Is that his name? The new guy today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling him. Is I was like, man, it's the middle of winter right now. Like, I feel like in the summertime, like, stick around because there's going to be some people here.
Spring and summer,
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
If we're talking over you at all, too, just feel free to interrupt us.
You guys are fine.
Okay. And then this is the last one I have.
Yeah, you said you had some questions.
Yeah, it was actual questions. So the first one is, I'm whistling all over the place. What was the best roleplay death?
The best
Mine,
role play.
obviously.
I mean,
I don't know.
Let's ask our guest host.
That
Yeah.
you saw.
put you on the spot.
Right. Had several really good roleplay deaths today. Everybody kind of stepped it up a little bit. I'd say one of the best would have to be.
And you can't say north.
Yeah, you don't pick me.
You can talk about the ogre if you want.
I didn't
I'll
get to
allow
see
it.
the ogre.
Oh my goodness.
I came in like right at the end
I mean,
of
that
the
was
patrol,
a good roleplay
so I didn't get to
death.
see that
You're
one.
right. It was a very good roleplay death.
I tried really hard to help the new people understand that they had to stab my legs too today. I said that.
Yeah.
How many? Oh, you were there. How many times did I say that today?
a lot.
You know?
Yeah.
It was like 8 times in a row. Like, they kept trying to stab me in my torso. I'm like, come on, guys, help them figure it out, you know? But I do appreciate that none of the other players, tried to stab me in the legs. Like, I wanted them to get it, and eventually they did.
And
So that was
yeah,
kinda
all the regular players just were attacking you and dying.
cool. Right, which is what we want
Yes.
in that situation.
Yeah, and I was saying, like, at one point I said, what if I jump? Is that tall enough? And
Yeah,
then he
I hear
did
you.
kill me.
And then at some point, somebody tried to shoot me with an arrow, and I almost like didn't even know what to say. I was like, you're not tall enough either.
I'm super tall.
No, roleplay deaths, I would say probably Rose and Rose and Windhelm both. I mean, very well did their RP deaths today.
Good.
Awesome.
Happy to hear it.
Awesome. Good.
Anybody else? What was your coolest roleplay death you saw?
Believe it or not, I want to say it was. I really don't want to say this.
Was it
Say
me?
it.
Did I win?
Say it.
What's so hard right now?
It was Davine.
Hey.
Ah.
You know what's funny is I'm pretty sure I know which one he's talking about too. Because like there was like a moment of pause where I'm like, wait, did he stab me? And I couldn't figure it out. And so I just like flopped on my back. I was like, ah! I just like
It was the one during Capture the Flag.
Yeah,
where
that's
you
the
were
one I was-
right at the tree, and he was just like, "I need protection. I need protection." Like you kept saying, "I need protection," but he was all like, "I only got one leg." And he's like,
Oh, when
"I'm
you
dead."
probably.
were protecting me.
Probably.
So-
I don't know.
Yeah, it was. I have to say, it was Stavine.
Heck yeah. I'll take it. Point. Sweet.
I would say the ogre if I had to choose a best roleplay death.
Yeah.
I mean, you had
There was
the
a lot of-
advantage to be able to draw it out. but,
Sure.
you know, if I had to pick somebody that was like a player, there was a. I want to say, it might have been. I think it was Jonathan Trapp, and then somebody else I saw, and I went over and like tried to make sure they were okay, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm just role playing," and I was like, "Oh, okay, all right," because I feel like that's when they really sold me when I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, that guy's hurt." And I'm running over there, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just role playing." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
It was actually Wilhelm.
Was it Wilhelm?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I was like, "Oh, dude, is he hurt?" And like,
Yeah, you
I
might have
walked
seen that
over,
whenever I-
and we both seen it. We're like, I'm like, "Dude, are you all right?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm role playing." I'm like,
Yeah.
"He's okay."
At
he's
some
role
point
playing
today,
too good.
somebody came up and asked me if I was hurt too, and I was like, I'm not hurt. I'm just fat and winded. Like I'm tired. You know. That's
You're like, "No, this is real. I'm not role playing."
yeah. Exactly.
It was funny whenever like we called a water break. I was like, "Do you guys need a water break?"
Yeah,
Davine walks up.
I'm talking all
he has
kinds
the
of crap
shield,
though.
and
That's
he's
why
like,
it was funny
"Oh,
before because I was like, we don't need a water. Water's for weakness. And then I like put my shield up so nobody could see me. And I was like, I'm so thirsty.
I have to say, like, even though there was a little aggression or whatever going on, it was still great. And I mean, even in the game there was RP, and I'm like, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Making the role play matter on that on the deaths too, and really sticking to that makes people role play more too when they know
yeah.
that if they role play, they cut
Especially
their bleed out time
10
in
to
half.
20. Like that's a huge
Big
difference.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get back to that flag. There were times where I didn't role play death, and then I realized I didn't do it, and I just turned around and went, "Ah!" and fell over dead. I was like,
Well, that's
"Oh."
what I said. I did that once today too. Because 20 seconds seems like an eternity, especially like you don't want to let your team down. Like I need to be out there because like
Yeah.
if I'm not out there, like I don't want it to be my fault we lose. You know what I mean? And so like
Every little advantage.
oh
that
yeah,
you
like
can
every 10
get.
seconds, and then I'm running back when I probably shouldn't be running. Like it's just like one of those situations where it's like, well, I don't want to let anyone down, so I guess I have to role play die.
Yeah,
I need those 10 seconds.
I gotcha.
I will say there were 2 or 3, at least 3 really good sliders today.
Okay, I would like to talk about that though.
That can be dangerous.
That the two of the major injuries today came from slides.
Yes.
So what I will say as a marshal is that I'm going to discuss it with the other marshals, and if this continues to be an injury thing where every time people are sliding somebody's getting hurt,
Even
like,
if it's themselves.
even if it's hurting themselves,
Yeah.
eventually we're going to go, okay guys, no more sliding into people, like because it's dangerous. So if you can't do it and not get hurt, please don't, because eventually we're just going to have to like put it in the rules that it's not allowed.
Yeah.
So
It's good to get that out there.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's some.
They
players
look
that
cool
can
when they
do it.
work, but when they don't work, they are scary because
Yeah.
you can collide in with somebody and hurt
Like,
somebody.
I
really
know
bad.
that Lucian, he when he has his lower mechs
His
on,
mechs, yeah.
he's really good. Cranston, sorry, Raven, Shadow Weaver, he's really good.
Yep.
And of course, Gregor's really good at it.
Yeah,
but
Gregor
again,
today also had
Most of the
trap.
time.
Most of the time, yep.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Both injuries involved a shield, and it was really both of their own faults.
It was.
I don't even. To be fair, on the Jonathan Trapp one, he sprinted from one side of the field to the other side of the field, and it looked like he threw himself into that shield. Is
He
what
did.
it looked like to
He
me.
did.
He did.
And then he was hurt. Like no kidding, bud.
It was you.
It
Yeah.
was me.
Threw himself into Siren.
Yeah.
Like
Siren's like,
3 different times.
And
Okay.
to be fair, on Gregor's, Gregor threw himself into his own shield. So
Yeah, I was over there berating him everybody about
Yeah.
sliding, and he's like,
and
actually.
I was like, dude, it was his own shield. He was like, oh. Like that's all he knew what to like.
Yeah,
Nobody knew
and
what
then I
to
was
say.
like- and then I was like, well, then you need to slow down, Gregor.
Yeah.
Stop hurting yourself.
I'm glad he's okay, but like I said, he is gonna have a black eye.
He needs
Yeah.
to take a picture and turn it into his profile.
Yeah.
pic.
It also, yeah, you need to. I'll message him after this because this won't be released till like Wednesday. So I'll message him after this and be like, I want like updated photos of this eye for reasons.
Every hour on the hour.
Yeah.
And then the next question on, oh damn, I did it.
That's actually
I
the
said it.
second time you've said to be fair.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Oh, we have a counter.
It says, what's a character you'd think would make a good king?
I don't want to answer this question as a marshal because I feel like it's very biased. So I will leave this answer to Siren.
I can, okay.
Okay.
I can say speaks to something towards this, but it's not about who. It's not necessarily answering this question. But go ahead.
I can answer the question without answering a specific person, but
Right.
as far as a specific person, I'd like to hear your take on it, unbiased, of course, because you are a lord of sorts.
I am.
So I don't, try to be unbiased. Joe.
Okay, so the first and foremost, let me ask this. When it comes to who gets to be said king or queen or whatnot,
Yeah.
are they a lord and lady to start with, as in the clan
Yes.
leaders only?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, hold on though.
But
Is
anybody,
there kind of a rule
Okay.
about a mercenary potentially winning? Is that a thing?
yeah, mercenaries can win still.
Okay, so it could be somebody
could
that's
still be
not in
anybody.
This
a
could
clan.
happen. This could happen. Okay, so like if you don't have to be alive to win the battle for the crown. If one of your clan members lives, that's all that matters. They give
Right.
you the crown. Like if one of your clan members is alive, you get the crown. But if
Right.
that clan member decides, I'm going to leave your clan right now with this crown and go make another clan on that day,
They can do
do
that.
that.
Gotcha.
They can completely,
Take off with it.
yeah,
Of course, it would completely ruin their reputation as a character. But
Yeah.
Or if you were alive and they walked over and they're like, oh, yeah, you're going to win, and they killed you. And then was like, all right, now I'm king. And they just went off and made their own clan and left your clan right then. That would count.
assuming they had enough people to make a clan, right? They would
Yes,
have
they
to
have
have.
to get their minimum people in that day. Like, I'd
or
have
else,
to know.
what would happen if they didn't? Like they couldn't do that.
Then they would just be, I guess, a mercenary king. But I guess the downside of it would only be, right now it wouldn't matter, but later it would mean that you couldn't join another clan at least for a month. Later
Right.
on that matters, but
Okay.
right now it doesn't matter.
I gotcha. Out of
So it could be anybody, basically.
anybody.
Yeah, it's basically, I think, what he was.
I mean, there's. That's a tough one.
Oh, it's certainly not an easy question, which is
It's
why.
almost like
See.
it's almost like you need clarification on good king. Like, what does that mean? Does it mean
Right.
somebody who is going to
I
be a
think
good
I
king
know who
for
put
like
that in
the
there.
game in total,
probably.
or just a good king like to be a
Here's let me
peasant
answer this
under or
question. Let me
whatever.
answer this question. So I will say this.
subservient to.
I'm not going to answer a specific person, but I will say if you have a king or a queen, whatever, I think it should be somebody who is there. Let's start with that. Somebody who is present every week. Like as far as a king goes, I don't want somebody to be there part-time. That sucks. Okay? I want them there active.
Especially, if nothing else, at least during their entire reign. Like
And-
if they're like, if I win crown,
Of course,
I'm going
of
to be
course.
there every day.
But my point is, if you're going to be king, you need to be there. Okay, as much as you can. Like I realize things happen, work happens, life happens, these things happen. But like, if you're going to be king, you should be present. That's the first thing. The second thing is I want, as a player, I would want to be inspired by my king. I would want to feel like I could follow that person into battle, and even if I could defeat them in battle, I would want them to be inspiring, right? I would want to feel like they could lead me into battle and I would be willing to go. Okay.
Right.
And the last thing is that I don't necessarily like the idea of a king or a queen that like goofs off too much. I want it to be a player who's in role play basically all the time. Like I don't want a joke of a king. I want you to like lead these people.
Yeah.
Because like even through role play or whatever, like there's a reason we need a king, right? Like there's a story where we're trying to get out of a specific area. I want you to be able to lead these people out of there. I don't want a weak king. I don't want the orcs and the goblins and the ogres and whoever else we might run across to go, they're weak because they have a weak king. Like I want that king to inspire some kind of leadership. That's what I would want.
instill fear into the opponents.
Yeah.
Yeah, fear or respect. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I was
Yeah.
going to say definitely somebody that is equally respected between all, because that's going to be what either makes or breaks them.
Yeah.
Well, that puts Siren out. That puts Terex out. That
Oh,
puts
wow.
Davine
Really?
out. That puts
This guy.
North
Oh,
out.
come on. I didn't even say. Had to throw
And
me
to
into
be
there.
fair, I do think it's important to understand that, like, when I say these things, I'm not talking about someone who's the best on the battlefield. It
No.
has nothing to do with battle prowess at all.
No.
Nothing.
No.
And then kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit, like, is what I could speak to this is what I'd like to see is two people that out of game are probably really good friends. And this is something that me and kind of Aaron did once before. But in game, for them to be an example as a rivalry to everyone else, so that everyone else just has to pick a person to rally behind, and that those two people, whoever they are, like I don't know who they'd be,
Right.
but I wish there were two people that were, and even if they weren't really strong, if they just had the qualities that you're talking about, they showed up every time, they wanted to try to be the king and would do their best at it. You know, they have, like, with the leadership skills, I mean.
Yeah.
But where they basically know that what they're doing is creating conflict for the game. Like, and I'm speaking from a, like, game developer's perspective. Like, what I think would be best for the game is if, like, say the new people that came in today, if there was just, like, two really big factions to kind of pick from and be like, you know, he fights him and they never get along and they have, like, a huge in-game rivalry, but unbeknownst to everyone, out of game, they're totally cool with each other.
Yeah.
They're doing it on purpose. They're
Like,
doing it.
I have a really good example here.
Go ahead.
So, like, right now, if you, like, look at the clans and what we have out there, I don't feel like I'm wrong in saying Black Rose right now has the strongest
Right.
hold on the game as far as a clan.
Yeah.
And Rand is one of my friends. I like legitimately see Rand as a friend. I think he's a great guy. Like, whatever. I would totally hang out with him tomorrow if he called me. That's not me telling you to call me, Rand. But my point is if I made a clan tomorrow, knowing the dynamic that exists right now, I would have a conversation with
Right.
Rand out a game that says, "Hey, buddy, we're great friends, right? We're great friends, but starting now, Sundays 1 to 5,
Right.
we're not."
Right.
Like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna tell everybody that you've manipulated them, that they have all of this power, and
Right.
I'm coming for you,
Right.
basically, because I don't, for whatever reason, I'd make some kind of role play reason. But Rand and I are great friends, and I would have this conversation with him out of game about this is what I have to do to see the betterment of the game right now. So, like, don't take this personally.
Right.
And that's the kind of thing that I think you're talking about, is where if there's two people going after each other or whatever, they should be friends out of the game, because that makes, like, the in-game conflict not that bad.
Yeah, like where they're not actually literally against each other
Right.
in the game.
Because
They
we've
will
had
turn
that
down
too.
players.
We've
Like,
had that too, where
I was
two
gonna
people
say,
that
we've-
don't like each other, like, at each other in game, and sometimes it's a problem because emotions run a little rampant, and, like, now I'm mad, and I shouldn't be mad out there at LARP. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right. Right.
I was gonna say, I mean, we had the thing where originally Midnight Watchers included additional people before the clans broke down into smaller ones.
Right.
And with that, our sister clan, or our friends that split, ended up, they completely flipped on us.
Right.
So instead
got
of being
absorbed.
a sister watchers of the monsters and protectors, they are now part of the monsters.
Right.
So we do have that in-game rivalry, but we're outside of game,
Right.
all still really good friends.
And I guess it would be a lot to ask, but, like, it's almost like I wish Rand would turn down people in his clan and say, "No, you can't join my clan. I literally want to fight you. Like, I'm not about you the best, I guess I'm just gonna have to, like, say names. Maybe I'm not, like, trying to
Don't say any
Oh,
names.
okay.
No,
I don't do that. But what I will say is, if somebody who's let's say I decided to be a player again tomorrow, which I'm not doing, but let's
No,
say
you're gonna hang out with Rand.
yeah.
Yeah, you're hanging out with Rand tomorrow.
Right. And Rand basically
We'll
was
set it
like,
up.
"Hey, I'll kick out this player out of my clan that's not as good for you." I would hope that Rand wouldn't do that. I would hope that Rand would be like, no, I hope he starts his own clan because we need more conflict. I need opponents.
Yeah.
Right. To be able to fight
which is
different.
probably what I would do, especially hindsight. I've been on the other side of this. I've been on the power side of this, and to be fair, I didn't have much fun doing that either at certain times. Like, this was boring. I had Battle for the Crowns where I didn't swing a sword. Like, that sucks. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I mean, without mentioning names, when a new player shows up who might be able to provide a little bit of, conflict opposition to you, don't go, ooh, I don't really want to have to fight him. I want to bring him into the fold of my 2 clans that I have right now. Like, you should want that player to go make their own clan.
Yeah, like I said, I know it's a lot to ask because it would be like saying it's better for the game, but personally, I get where you wouldn't want to do that. But if you were wanting in the long run, it's going to make it better to have good, healthy rivalries as opposed to just absorbing everyone, basically.
And to be fair, though, the other side of that coin is that eventually in the long run, hopefully that won't matter anyway, that there will be enough opposition via other clans.
Yeah, that's something else that I was
thinking. But we got to get more players in order for that to happen.
Yeah, because when me and Aaron were part of Night Watch, I was like second in command of Night Watch or whatever, and we basically split up, and I went and made like an evil clan, and I was like, I'll get all the evil people to follow me, and the good people are already going to automatically follow you because that's easy to rally behind. The good
it's
guy.
Always easy to rally behind the good guy.
Better than the bad guys, like because it's harder to get them all together or whatever. But and like we knew we were doing this for that reason, and it worked really good. Like it'd be cool if somebody would have that idea or that concept in mind, be like, I want to build a strong opposition as much as I do build a strong clan myself, because that way I'm getting to fight like have a good, healthy, rivalry essentially, basically. And like I said, make it to where when the new people get there, they're not like, well, I can either join this clan and I have to fight a billion guys that are obviously way stronger than me, or I can go try to mingle up with the mercenaries and the few straggler clans that aren't willing to bow to the knee to this guy.
Right.
And then it's like we're kind of outnumbered. Like when I know that Rand was trying to pick up on roleplay RP by standing out in the field. Well, nobody's going to go out there when there's 15 people out there standing around.
Yeah.
Like if they went in groups of 2, if he was like, hey, this is for roleplay, we're trying to encourage roleplay, so everybody go in groups of 2 and don't back each other up. If somebody comes over there and starts fighting you, you get outnumbered, whatever, you're on your own. We'll come over there afterward and try to clean up whatever's left or whatever, but this is specifically to get people out here, not to win, basically.
Yeah.
It
also, as a clan, it almost makes more sense to do that, because if I have 3 groups of 2 just kind of like wandering the fields and I see somebody get attacked and killed, then like I want to live like in order to like know that. So like let's not get involved. Let's let them run back to town, and then I can tell my 2 members that were murdered or killed or whatever you want to call it,
who killed
like,
them
hey,
and whatever.
These are the people that killed us, and now we have beef with this clan. Like that to me is a lot better of a role play experience than just wiping them on the, I mean, like that's not fun. Now we have beef with them because they decided to attack a group of 6 like that. That almost to me is honorable, almost in a way, for it to be like 1v6,
Yeah.
And to be clear, I'm not trying to come down. Like Rand is one of our, like you said, he's
great.
Our best player, essentially, especially as far as like financially supporting Phlarp. He's done that more than anyone.
Sure.
So like I'm not trying. It's just kind of like food for thought, basically.
Right. So I do think we probably
That's
should
still true, yeah.
should wrap some stuff up here, but because I think time-wise we've gone over a little bit, but
Somebody didn't watch the movie, so we don't have to do that, and I can give him the movie to watch.
okay.
If
So you want to do it
skip
for like
that.
another week or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. Well
We
then,
can skip it.
I
That's for this
apologize,
week.
guys. I really do.
this is not the first time that he's missed a movie.
You're right. This is not the first time. However, this time I had spoken to you about it. I was trying to do some research to better my health. I found out I'm type 2 diabetic this week. So it's like concussion, diabetes. It's pouring. So I'm trying to find ways to better my health so that I can be out there every week and take care of my body and take care of what I need to, so I can be out there and be the god that I am.
Goodness gracious. Okay.
So I apologize, but I mean, with that being said,
We're running a little late, but do we want to try this last question? There's one more on here.
Sure.
It said, who would make a good 1v1 fight? I think 2 dual wielders makes the most entertaining fight.
it does.
I think 2 shields is kind of entertaining, but not really, because they'll just go bam, bam, and like trade shots over and over.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Last week,
But I like watching dual wielders fight.
with the
That's fun.
Raven and Aridin and Pora. it was still a great 1v1, but I agree with you. Dual wielding, that's always the best.
Fair enough. Do we?
I don't know about anybody specific, but
All right,
maybe
so-
Serednik and Arno would be interesting to see them actually fight in a one-on-one.
Ooh,
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe. Maybe not.
maybe.
I got a movie suggestion.
Okay.
I want to watch The Last Dragon.
Okay.
I had to watch your movie. I think we
I'll
should
watch
watch that
yours.
movie.
All right.
Okay.
That's
Can you
two
get
movies.
two? Can
That's
you get
two
two in?
movies I gotta watch.
That's
and-
on you, man.
All right, I'll.
And does somebody have a code word?
That,
Oh, yeah.
We're letting the guest host do it this time.
All right.
Oh,
The
goodness.
guest
So
host
it
did
could
last time.
technically be a couple words if you wanted it to.
Yeah,
like
like a
obviously this
term.
past week it was kick rocks or whatever it was.
Right.
Apparently, eat dirt is out of the.
I mean, it literally means like go die. I just think it's a little rough. But
Yeah.
I mean, if we all said it,
It's like kick
it's
the
a-
bucket or
it's a
something.
di-
Yeah.
I think that no matter what, everybody should come and tell Davin to,
I will use my level
rocks.
2 martial ability,
You know what?
and you will get banished.
Can you banish another marshal?
Probably.
Okay.
What do you got?
Oh, I saw a new.
He can do whatever he wants as long as he keeps running the computer for me.
Hey, I've been trying. Okay?
Try me.
I've been trying.
He has been helping me.
Oh, okay.
I did see a new ability item out there today. So let's go with webs.
Okay.
Webs. Okay.
Sure.
Webs.
Why not? Webs.
Webs.
If you can work it into a conversation with me somehow, or whoever you're telling,
better.
whether it be myself or Eric the Red or North, that's better for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
And I guess that's it, right?
No, that's not it.
What? Uh-oh. This is...
I want my title.
Oh, I was there's gas for his
You will
carrots.
say my title. Actually,
Eric
you know
the
what?
Red.
I had carrots today. I ate healthy today for lunch, but
You have a cheese
some jerk
breakfast in front of you.
some jerk made me eat breakfast, which I do appreciate. I may call you a jerk, but
You're welcome.
I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Don't let him... Don't
You're welcome. All right. Well,
don't
with that,
encourage
guys,
him. Don't encourage him.
we hope you keep listening.
He hates you. Trust
And
me.
we hope you keep fighting in the town of Darvishan.
And we hope to see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.